Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome to the July 19th edition of Carry Your Cross. Thank you for you being able to join me today. As always, I think this is a time where you can be encouraged, and as well as myself, as we look into God's Word. And over this last week, I was remembering a story that I had heard at one time concerning Will Rogers. Now, you understand that Will Rogers, when he was on stage, did a great amount of rope tricks, lariat tricks. And one particular time, when he was before a live audience, of course, he got the rope wrapped around his body somehow, in some way. And of course, the rope trick could not be realized. Well, but instead of becoming frustrated, as only Will Rogers could do in his Oklahoma drawl, he says, "A rope ain't so bad to get tangled up in if it ain't around your neck." Well, the crowd went wild. They readily embraced his own satire. But that set in motion the premise that with future shows, he always used that satire. That commentary was something that audiences warmed up to, and it was a brand new door that opened because he was now sharing personal things, and the wit really connected with his audience. Now, my point is this: if he had not gone through that initial mistake, maybe things would have been much different, in his future. And every single day that we live, do we make mistakes? Absolutely. Do you make mistakes? Yes. Do I make mistakes? Without a doubt. And I believe that mistakes there's two ways to approach mistakes. We can continue wallowing in the same mistake over and over and over again, never learning from it. Or number two, we can do just that. We can embrace God's intent in the midst of that mistake, and we can learn from it. I was reading Solomon's writing in the book of Proverbs chapter 24, verse 16. And he writes this: "For a righteous man falls 7 times and rises again, but the wicked stumble in time of calamity." And as I read that over these last days, that really spoke to me, because we understand that we're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to fall short. We're all going to do things that are very unbecoming, even sinful. But it is at those particular times that we are to learn from where we are or where we have been, knowing that as a believer, God is always going to be the one that is going to lift us back up. He's going to brush us off. He's going to encourage us and give us hope and set us free again in order to live life and to have that life more abundantly. Listen again: "For a righteous man falls 7 times and rises again." Believers are to be resilient, and the wicked will continue to stumble in times of calamity. One of my favorite pastors, authors, Christian people is Chuck Swindoll. I've never met him, but read a great deal of his books and listened to a great many of his sermons. And one of the most profound things that he has ever said, in my opinion, is that life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we respond to it. I believe that is incredibly profound, because we are going to make mistakes. Not that we're trying, but as sinful human beings, we are. But it is at those particular times we are to embrace the reality that God has allowed it for whatever reason, but we at that time are supposed to learn from it knowing that God will never leave us alone in the midst of that sin. He will always encourage us, many times convict us, but He will brush us off as He lifts us up and we move on for bigger and greater things. Folks, this is Lane Collins, pastor here at Mount Calvary. I love you and your family. I so look forward to meeting you one of these days personally, if I have not had that opportunity as of yet. And for those of you who know Christ, I pray that you will continue to put one foot in front of the other. You will continue to be salt. You will continue to be light as you carry your cross into the midst of this dark and dying generation. But until next time, know that you were loved and you were being prayed for. God bless you.